I want to bring in Jack Posobiec. Speaking of lobbying people in Washington, Jack, you were on the Hill yesterday. You were in D.C. yesterday, and you were talking about Antifa. My phone was blowing up. Everybody was loving what you were saying, Jack. So I'm gonna start there, and then I'm gonna throw it to you. Let's go ahead and play cut 108, a particularly powerful moment from Jack Posobiec.
And Mr. President, I think the situation is getting worse. When you look at people like Luigi Maggioni in his 20s, Thomas Matthew Crooks, of course, who took a shot at you, sir, the ICE shooter in Dallas, and now this Tyler Robinson, we're starting to see a pattern of more and more murderous violence. But Mr. President, we need to do something about this, because I fear that the next one who could be killed could be sitting at this table right now.
Jack Posobiec, tell us your thoughts. What was the importance of yesterday?
Well, guys, thanks so much for having me on, and of course, honored to be participant at the panel there in the White House to talk to President Trump about what's going on with the violence that we've seen, and hi to Tyler and to Danica as well. Danica, by the way, I can't wait to come out and campaign for you in Arizona. It's going to be an incredible race.
You first.
It's going to be great. Oh, it's going to be wonderful. You'll see. And of course, I mean, who better to get in the race than an actual race car driver herself?
Well,
all our staff today, Jack, was sending me pictures of dressing up when they're kids as Danica for Halloween. This is a real thing.
Hopefully just the female staff, right, Tyler?
It's just the female staff, just all the girls on staff
and
wanted to be Danica when they were little.
Maybe
so.
Bad Bunny will be.
And then Andrew did 1 year, but for the record, that was because he lost a bet.
That's right.
But no. Yesterday, in all seriousness, look, this violence has affected all of us, and it's affected us directly. I've been writing about Antifa, infiltrating Antifa for almost 10 years now, researching this group. I spent about a week inside the Chaz up in Seattle in 2020. I've been infiltrating these groups going back to 2015, 2016. And little did we know, or how could we have known, that one of our friends who should be here today hosting this very show would be killed by someone who had a bullet casing that referenced Bella Ciao, which is the international anthem of Antifa. And these symbols, this symbology, this violence, this rhetoric, it is absolutely getting worse. And so I applaud the fact that the President of the United States was willing to take time out of his incredibly busy schedule. He's securing peace in the Middle East at the same time, by the way. Talk about multitasking. When the left tells us that he's not, he deserves 10 Nobel Prizes for being able to pull this off, by the way. But when you really look at it, the situation is grim, because we are going to keep going forward. Turning Point USA will obviously keep going forward. The tour continues. 6,000 in Utah, another 5,000 in Montana just the other night. A number of us are going to New Jersey tomorrow to get involved in Jack Ciattarelli's race in New Jersey. So Benny Johnson, myself, Cliff Maloney, Scott Pressler, a lot of Turning Point partners will be there in Wildwood. But at the same time, if Antifa is not dealt with, it is going to get worse, and they will not stop on their own. So when the president came in and started discussing foreign terrorist organization designation, this is absolutely warranted. It is absolutely necessary. And I applaud the fact that the president took our recommendations and says, yes, that he will be signing off on this, because Antifa actually began in Europe. And that was what I started my briefing with, explaining how they really rose up out of Weimar Germany, then spread to the Spanish Civil War, other parts of Europe, and they still exist with pockets and cells all across Europe, and even links to Middle Eastern groups. They went over to Syria for training all throughout the Syrian civil war, and then returned to the United States and parts of Europe to put that battlefield training into places like the Chaz. They were, in fact, members of the John Brown Gun Club and members of those armed checkpoints in Chaz that had received battlefield training in Syria. This is a foreign terrorist organization, and if President Trump, when he designates them as such, he will be able to use the full power of the U.S. government against them.
Well, Jack, I want to have you, CNN was running cover for Antifa last night. I'm going to have you respond to Aaron Burnett. I think I might have been the one that got this clip circulating last night, which I just found it so obscene. I had to post it. Let's go ahead and play cut 112.
In fact, it's not even like far-right groups like the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers, which have had national leaders, unlike Antifa. There is no organized hierarchy to the group. And according to the Center for Strategic and International Studies, compared to right-wing extremists, Antifa-linked violence is rare and limited. But that has not stopped Trump from blaming Antifa for just about every act of violence in America since he first got into office.
But so, Jack, it gets worse. The study that she cites is about the rise of left-wing violence. It lists Islamic terrorism as right-wing and doesn't include the Tesla attacks or anti-ICE protests and assaults as leftist violence. So there's egg all over Aaron Burnett and CNN's face right here.
Well, look, CNN is in a world of hurt after the after the beatdown President Trump gave them yesterday in the White House, and we got to be there for that. Look, that sounds like something that was. Who's on the other side of that teleprompter? Did Antifa write that script? This is exactly how it works. And speaking as a guy who spent a year mobilized to Guantanamo Bay working in counterterrorism. Terrorist cells operate in a decentralized fashion, especially with asymmetric warfare. That is the textbook definition of asymmetric warfare. You wouldn't want this hierarchy. You wouldn't want this ability for them to be able to be tracked easily. That's part and parcel of what Antifa does. But when it comes to the training, when it comes to the organizational level, when it comes to the front groups and the affinity groups that are used to fund the legal aspects of this, that are used for NGO dollars, and Seamus Bruner gave an incredible briefing there in the White House. We've seen it all. We've tracked it all. We have the receipts. The federal government is coming for all of them. And it's incredible to me. It's incredible that CNN will sit there, even today, blue in the face, and say, they don't exist. They're not real. Well, and here's what I'd say to Aaron Burnett. Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say to all of them. Come join us. I'll show you where they are. I'll show you how real they are.
Well said, Jack. You did a great job yesterday at the White House. So thank you for speaking up, for your courage on this.